If you have watched the news during the American presidential campaign, then you may have come across this.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
But no matter what you do, guns, no guns, it doesn't matter. You have people that are mentally ill, and they're going to come through the cracks, and they're going to do things that people will not even believe are possible.
However, the feedback from social media was not as big as expected, unlike the issue involving racism or sexism that people talk about every day. When you look back in time, people have been fighting for equality for years. But what about equality for people with mental illnesses? Why have we not been trying to fight for them? This is Jody Singer, a sociologist diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, which is essentially autism with a higher IQ. She is the first one who used the term neurodiversity in 1999 in this article. She said that the neurologically different represents a new addition to the familiar political categories of class, gender, or race, and that people should embrace who they are. Therefore, if they are just a variation of humankind, then what's the point of looking for a cure when nothing is needed to be fixed? Once we stop looking for the cure, we can then say that we are the same and not different. This sounds perfect as everyone can be treated the same. But no. Shiroman is a low-functioning autistic, and she stated that high-functioning autistics have no idea what our lives are like. Therefore, she wants to remove autism with the perfect cure. However, we are yet to find any cure for autism. What if we can't? How can we help the people with mental issues without adding the stigma? What is the solution without the solution? To answer the question, we have to go to Kiel, a city in Belgium, the paradise for the insane. Over 700 years, people in Kiel always live with the border, which is what they call people with mental illnesses. Among the borders, 24% of them are diagnosed with schizophrenia. However, families in Kiel welcome the borders to live with them, to help out their family, especially those who have a business to run. Eventually, they accept them to be part of the family. It is not unusual that every day you could see the locals and the borders hanging around in a pub or in a store. But what about the treatment? Are the borders given any drugs like SSRI or cognitive behavioral therapy? No, they are not given anything. For centuries, care has been the place for the insane to be normal, to finally be accepted by society. And what is the evidence of a no-solution solution? Josh Brown and his colleagues studied the relationship between the patients with schizophrenia and their close family member to see their clinical outcomes. It turns out, if you are being hostile to the patients all the time, then they will have a higher chance to relapse the symptoms. Which makes sense that most of them choose to live alone and are socially withdrawn as they don't want to have relapses. This is also known as the law of expressed emotion, which defines the emotion as criticism, hostility, and emotional over-involvement. This has been replicated all over the world, and it is suggested that the more we criticize the patients with schizophrenia, the more their symptoms seem to be worsened. On another paper where they look at the correlation between EE and the behavioral problems on an autistic individual, they found out that the higher the criticism, the greater the behavioral problems. What that means is that by simply using our emotions could improve one's behavior. Simply accepting them could potentially help them a lot more than using medication. Therefore, in care, they will not judge who you are, but letting all the borders to be part of society. We are accepting people with different sexual orientations and ethnicities. Maybe now it is time for us to embrace a new concept, neurodiversity.